I'm Sarah LouWho, if you don't know. And today we're gonna do a makeup tutorial that I've been promising for like a week I would do, and I haven't yet. So I'm gonna do it today. Before I even get into like the description of it, I'm just gonna moisturize my face because I just cleansed it with a charcoal cleanser and it's like painfully dry right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on my Air Repair moisturizer, the Complexion Boosting Moisturizer by Air Repair. It's amazing. It's the only moisturizer I use. I do use a night cream, but as far as daytime, this is my holy grail. I'm gonna use about that much, and I'm gonna combine it with my Bonum Vitae. You guys, I use this all the time, morning and night. So this is the normal one. It comes in normal face oil. There's an anti-aging one, which I use a lot. There's a dry one, which I use if I go to a drier climate. And there's also a acne prone / oily skin one. So I'm just gonna add that with my moisturizer and put it on. Okay guys, so today we're gonna do vacation makeup. I've promised you that I was going to do this for, I think I promised it like last week and I never recorded it because I was sick. So we're gonna do that glowy tropical vacation makeup. Funny story, I actually recorded this tutorial this morning before I went to work, but because I was in such a rush, I forgot all kinds of things, and I'm watching it back before I upload it to YouTube, and I'm like, what was I doing? Like, I'm pretty sure I was half asleep. So we're gonna actually take our time and go through it, and I'll talk through it. I apologize, I do have a cough still from being sick last week, and it's really, really annoying, but hopefully it won't act up too bad. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to prime our face with the MAC Strobe Cream. Can you see it? It has like a little gold emblem. It comes in a couple colors. This is the gold light color. It's definitely the fan favorite. It's almost like an illuminating cream is what it is. Actually, you know what? I'm going to combine this with our foundation we're going to use today. Alright, so I'm just going to add this to the back of my hand. I'm going to be kind of generous with it. Figure we're on vacation. We're gonna get into a vacation mindset. And I'm gonna mix it with my Bare Minerals, huge Bare Minerals fan. Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. This is the Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream, okay? My color is Ginger 06. I noticed that for me, when I'm wearing Bare Minerals, and you'll see I'll just put a kind of a small dot, a little bit bigger than a small dot on there. Alright, so let's apply this. I'm going to mix it and apply it with my Sephora, my multitask complexion brush. It's perfect. It fits in my little makeup bag to go on vacation with. I'm just going to blot these two together and throw it on my face. Not actually throwing anything, guys. Don't worry. Although I do have impeccable aim. Take my word for it. Okay. Grab everything else off the back of my hand. I'm not even really worried about under my eyes because I'm going to put some concealer on that. I will fill in my nose, my chin, anywhere I know that I have some slight like discoloration. Bring it down into my neck. This is like a really good match for me, and the gel cream is a bit sheer. It's not full coverage, so you don't really have to worry too much about getting it blended in perfectly. If you are more of a matte fan, you'd probably want to follow this up with a pressed powder. But I'm a dewy person, and I'm on vacation in my mind right now in the tropics. So I'm going to keep the dewy look. I'm going to move on from that and go to my Tarte Shape Tape. The favorite. You can get Tarte Shape Tape at Ulta and at Tarte.com. The shade I'm putting on is light to medium. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to just put a couple dots of concealer there where I think I like it. I like to put some concealer on my eyelids just because I have some pretty bright veins running through them. I always have. I've had it since I was a kid, so I'm not really concerned about it, but it can be slightly annoying sometimes when I have like eyeshadow on and you can still somewhat see the vein through it. I'm gonna take my mini beauty blender. I've actually used this morning to do my makeup, so don't worry about it. It's dirty. It's actually pretty fresh. There's only one use. So I'm gonna take this guy and just blend out that concealer. I feel like I should probably be looking in both mirrors, because right now I'm just looking at the camera, and I should learn that lesson that could be very bad. All right, so now let's move on to bronzer. Bronzer is a huge step when you are on vacation, especially if you have a spray tan. So I'm gonna go in with my Eco Tools bronzer brush. It's probably just really a blush brush is most likely what it's actually called. And I'm looking for my bronzer that I want to use right now. We're gonna go in with the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess. I've been using this shade is Bronze God or medium deep. This is a pretty dark shade, to be completely honest. Just throwing a little bit on my my blush brush here, and I'm gonna start buffing it into my forehead to make it look like I have somewhat of a tan in my 5 head. Alright, so now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put my bronzer in the 3 shape. So I'm going to start at the top of my forehead, I'm going to come down, and then I'm going to come down my jawline. So it's just like I'm outlining the number 3.
Yeah, so I'm putting my hands because this bronzer is so potent.
I'm going to come in, throw some bronzer on the bridge of my nose, just because I'm trying to touch where the sun would naturally touch on my face. And I feel like I need to grab my beauty blender and blend that out a bit. Went a little too far in with the bronzer. Alright, so we're bronzed up. I'm going to save the blush and highlighter for later. Let's go in and do our eyebrows. If I'm in a rush or I want them to just be more natural looking and not too done up, I will take my Brow Wiz pencil. This one here, it's by Anastasia, Beverly Hills as well. And just fill in and kind of shape out my arch on the top. And then when I have the arch kind of filled in and the shape I want, I will brush my eyebrow into it and put on a brow gel and just let it sit like that. So let's go on in. Actually, I'm gonna grab a mirror that's closer to me because this is kind of far away. Okay, I'm gonna go in and just lightly, this is the soft brown shade, so it's darker than it should be for me. I like to have my brow pencil darker than my brow pomade, and my brow pomade is in blonde. So sorry guys, I just had like a complete coughing fit, so I had to stop the video, hold the presses. Alright, so as I was saying, if I am doing my brows normally, I'll normally fill them in with the brow pomade, and then I go back in after with my darker Brow Wiz pencil, and I'll kind of create some hair-like strokes so that it just has more definition to it. There we go. All right, now that those guys are pretty much done, I'm gonna grab my brow gel. This is the Cella Eyebrow Defining Gel in clear. Got it in my Birchbox, and I love it because it's small and it actually has like gel on it. You know, some gels or mascaras, like you take them out and they don't have actually anything on the wand. It drives me crazy. This one actually has gel on the wand, so it's a winner in my book. All right, so we have eyebrows done, foundation done, bronzer done. Let's move on to eyes. For eyes, because we're kind of simulating a vacation look, normally I will not bring a ton of brushes on vacation with me. I will bring like 2 eyeshadow brushes, this being one of them. This is my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. It was $3 at Target. And then I'm gonna come in I have a blending brush somewhere. With my Sephora featherweight crease brush here, just to blend it out. And what I'm going to use for my eyes is the same Bronze Goddess. So I'm going to come in. I'm actually going to do my lower lash line first. Throw some on this, and I'm going to shadow out my lower lid just beneath my lash line. Kind of smokes it out a bit. If you have blue eyes, again, this shade is really, really pretty on them. And it's just a nice color because it doesn't make it look like you have a ton of makeup on, but it does kind of, I don't know, just give it a sultry, tropical, exotic vibe. So now that I'm done with my lower line, I'm gonna move up to the top and just kind of blend it out into the corner, the outer corner here, and then into the crease of it. Kind of get it cohesive looking. Take my blender brush. Actually, I'm gonna dip it a little bit. Smoke this baby out a bit. Oh, and don't you worry about that brow bone, because we're gonna be highlighting. And when I tell you we're gonna be highlighting, like unicorn highlighting, because we're on vacation. And if there's any time to glow, it's when you're on vacation. Just saying. Just want you guys to be mentally prepared for that later, because it's happening. So now that we have that base color on, we're gonna add a little bit of definition. I'm not gonna get too crazy with it, again, because if you're on vacation, you're probably not bringing a lot of stuff with you. When I went to Puerto Rico last week, I just brought this one palette. It's by Tarte. It's the Don't Quit Your Daydream palette. And look how pretty these colors all are. They're gorgeous. So I'm gonna go in with this one here. It's the Runway color. And I'm just gonna grab that just to add some definition to the outer lower corner. I just want this to be a little bit darker than the rest of the lower corner, or the lower lash line. Lovely. And I'm gonna use the same color to get into the outer corner crease. Not using a ton, I'm just kind of putting it right into the corner, because now I'm gonna come in with my blending brush that still has some of the original shadow on it and blend those two together. Cool. Lastly, same palette, I'm gonna go in with the Work shade. It's the darkest one in here. And I'm gonna take my liner brush, also from EcoTools. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna come in and pick some of that up, and I'm just gonna line my upper lash line with it. So, again, I should totally be using a closer mirror for this. And I'm not gonna bring it all the way into my inner corner. I'm just trying to give that outer corner a little bit more smoking definition. Now that that's all done, I'm gonna go in with my regular shadow brush that we did earlier, my flat one. I'm gonna grab some of this Strive color. It's like a red rosy gold. It's this one right here. And it's gorgeous. I'm gonna put this on the lid. All right, so I'm gonna take this where we're at, and I'm gonna move on to eyeliner. If I can find the right one. Yes, that was fast. I'm impressed. This is by Sephora. This is their Contour Matte Gel Liner, and it is waterproof, which is the best part about it. And it's a twist top. I like twist tops. I don't like to sharpen pencils. I know I'm weird. I don't know why. But I'm gonna take this guy and I'm gonna put it into the inner waterline on, obviously it's the inner waterline because it's a waterline, but I'm gonna put it in the waterline on both of my eyes. By the way, this is Caffeine Buzz is the shade. This just kind of gives it a nice little pop. Now that I did the waterline, I'm just gonna come in the outside corner and do like inside the lash line. Just so that you don't have too much of a disconnect between the waterline being so much darker than the shadow underneath. That's that. Let's go in and highlight the hell out of our face. Let's do it. All right, so I'm gonna go in with the highlighter. Normally I use a YSL Divine highlighting powder because it's more natural looking and it's kind of just an inner glow pressed powder. But because we're doing tropical, I feel like we need to do like a real highlighter, which is gonna be Becca Cosmetics Opal Pressed Powder Highlighter, if I can find it in my bag of tricks. There we go. Here's the color. It's glorious. Like, so pretty. So I like to put highlighters on with like fluffy eyeshadow brushes because they're just the right size to me. And this is my favorite one to use it on. It's the Blending Shadow Brush by Sephora. Came in one of their kits. So I'm just gonna come in here and I'm not even gonna hold back on this highlighting. Normally I'm kind of self-conscious about the highlight. Like I'm like, all right, I don't wanna get too crazy, but today I'm just gonna go crazy. Back to our Becca Cosmetics and Opal. Just picking up a little bit of this. I'm gonna put it in my brow bone here, just ever so lightly. I'm gonna put it on top of my brow bone because it's another high point of the face. I'm actually gonna like blend it into my brow a little bit. On to the next side. Yes. Like when you're on vacation, do not be afraid to highlight too much. If you're especially like in a tropical setting, I had so many comments like, oh my gosh, you're just so glowy. And I'm like, yeah, because I highlighted the shit out of my face. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna highlight even the very middle ridge. And I'm gonna go on with my pinky to highlight the tip of my nose. And I'm gonna go back in with my eyeshadow brush, put some on my Cupid's bow. And I'm gonna come in here. I really would like to use even a bigger brush on this, but whatever. And I'm following this in a V. You'll notice. I'm actually gonna switch to my blush brush just so it's not so defined. This is I also comes with me everywhere, my blush brush by Luxie. It's the 514 blush brush. And I'm just gonna take this and dip it into my highlighter, and I'm just gonna blend this out a little bit. So when I put highlight on, I like to kind of come in a V shape because you really do almost want to match these two up. The highlight from your brow bone and the highlight from your cheekbone. And make sure you don't come down too low with it. A lot of people put highlighter like here on the cheekbone. Can you see like the contour? So people put the highlighter here when really it should be highlighted on the high point, the upper curve of that cheekbone, okay? Let's go to blush. For my blush, I'm gonna use my NARS Orgasm, because who doesn't want a little orgasm? I also like to put blush, just like dab the last couple of amounts on my eyelids. And I don't like how that, it's like the blush is like sticking right here on this side, so I'm just blending it out a bit. All right, we haven't even put mascara on. Let's get crazy with the mascara, shall we? Let's go man-eater. This guy is a little crazy though, I'm not gonna lie, because watch how big this wand is when I pull this out. Like the wand is longer than like the tube of mascara almost. Obviously that's not technically possible, but I feel like it is. And I'm not going to use that massive wand to do my lower lash. I'm going to come in with my roller lash and do my lower lash line because that wand is just too big. I can imagine like poking my eye out with it. My rule for bottom lash mascara, I only put it on when I wear eyeliner or some kind of shadow on my lower lash line. If I don't do that, I normally skip lower lash mascara. I'm just a rebel like that. We just need some lip gloss. I'm gonna use a sample I got, I think, too, from Unique Cosmetics. I'll put this link down here because it's not really a huge known brand yet. This is their lucrative lip gloss, and this shade is Ladylike. It's kind of a corally shade. Let's see what it looks like on me. Normally, like I'm more of a berry shade leaner, but let's see what it looks like. This is what it looks like in the tube. Oh wow. Yep, I hate it. I like the formula though, but I'm just not a coral lipstick kind of girl. I'm just not. So, I'm actually gonna just finish it up. Now that that's on, I feel like this was a good look. I feel like I may need to blend out some things right in here, even though like I'm not even going anywhere. But I have to take this lip gloss off. Hold on. So I wiped the lip gloss off, but one thing I'm gonna do is just go over it lightly with this is the L'Oreal Infallible Paints, and Taupeless is the shade. It's a very neutral taupey color, hence why it's called taupe. And I'm only gonna put a little bit on because I still have some. I'm just gonna like dot it on. I don't want to be like too dark. And this stuff is potent. Like it's not a. It's much like a liquid lipstick, but it doesn't dry matte. So it truly is a liquid lipstick, but it's not glossy. It's just, I would call it satin, maybe it would be the finish. But it's just, they make such pretty colors and they smell really, really good. So there we have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. I'm actually gonna just go in really quickly and with my defining pencil and kind of dramatize this up a bit. Why not? Just washing it off in a second anyways before bed. But do you see what like that just did even? It just kind of cleans it up a little, which is why like if I do a dramatic eye, I always like to do a liquid liner with it. Even if it's just the tiniest wing, just because like when you bring everything here in the corner together, just really closes the deal, seals the deal. All right, guys, this has been tons of fun. If you liked this tutorial, go ahead and subscribe. It's right there. Right there, see it? Right? No, nope, not that one, that one. Yeah, subscribe. Check me out on Instagram, Sarah_LouWho. Check out my website, sarahlouwho.com. Check out my Facebook. Just search for Sarah LouWho and you'll probably find me. And thanks for hanging out. I hope we hang out again sometime soon. And yeah, I'll see you later. Mwah.
You don't go there, you go there. I'm like the most unorganized person in the world. But I'm like slightly OCD. How that even happens, I don't know. What are you guys still doing here? Get out.